Today, I'm going to share a story that many people remember deeply. My first job. Getting your first job is a big moment in life. It's exciting, but also scary. You feel nervous, unsure, and proud, all at the same time. You meet new people. You learn new things. You make mistakes. You grow up a little. And most importantly, you learn not just about work, but about yourself. Now, this story is more than just a story. It's a shadowing practice for you. That means you'll listen to me carefully and then repeat the sentences after me to improve your English pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence. Here's how to practice with this video. First, listen carefully to each sentence. Then, repeat the same sentence after me. Don't worry about being perfect. Just speak clearly and confidently. This is how you train your mouth and your brain to speak English naturally. So, get comfortable. Take a deep breath. And let's begin today's story, My First Job. Listen carefully to each sentence, then repeat the sentence after me. I still remember the day I got my first job. I was 19 years old. It was a hot summer day. I had just finished college exams. I wanted to earn my own money. I wanted to feel independent. So, I applied for a job at a small coffee shop near my house. I didn't have any work experience. I was nervous, but also excited. The next morning, I walked to the cafe for my interview. My hands were cold. My heart was beating fast. The manager smiled at me. He asked simple questions. What are your strengths? Why do you want to work here? I tried my best to answer. I told him I was friendly, honest, and hard-working. He nodded and said, "Okay, you can start tomorrow." I couldn't believe it. I got the job. I smiled the whole way home. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about my first day. What if I made a mistake? What if the customers didn't like me? The next morning, I put on my new uniform. It was a white shirt and a black apron. I looked in the mirror and said, "You can do this." When I reached the cafe, my manager introduced me to the team. There was Sarah, the barista. She was funny and friendly. And there was James, the cashier. He was quiet but very kind. They showed me how everything worked. How to take orders. How to make coffee. How to clean tables. At first, everything felt confusing. The coffee machine made loud noises. Customers spoke quickly. I tried to smile and stay calm. My first customer said, "Can I get a cappuccino?" I nodded, but my hands were shaking. I pressed the wrong button on the machine. Hot milk spilled everywhere. I said, "I'm so sorry." The customer laughed and said, "It's okay, take your time." Sarah helped me clean up. She whispered, "Don't worry, we all make mistakes." That made me feel better. The next few days were busy. I learned how to move faster. I learned how to smile, even when I was tired. I learned to say, "Good morning," with confidence. Some customers were kind. Some were impatient. But every day I learned a little more. After 1 week, I made my first perfect cup of coffee. The customer smiled and said, "This is delicious." I felt proud. It was a small success, but it meant a lot to me. One afternoon, a woman came in with her little daughter. The girl dropped her ice cream. She looked sad. Without thinking, I gave her a new one for free. The mother smiled and said, "Thank you." You made her day. That small moment made my day too. I realised that my job wasn't just about making coffee. It was about making people happy. It was about kindness. It was about connection. Sometimes work was hard. My feet hurt. I was tired. I made mistakes. But every time I failed, I tried again. On weekends, the cafe was full. The line was long. The air smelled like coffee and chocolate. Everyone was rushing. But somehow, I stayed calm. I learned how to multitask. Take orders, smile, listen, and move fast. After 1 month, my manager said, "You're doing a great job." I smiled. That one sentence made me feel confident. I started to enjoy the routine. The smell of coffee every morning. The quiet time after closing when the cafe was empty. Sometimes after work, I would sit by the window with a cup of hot chocolate. I looked at the street outside. Cars passing, lights glowing, people laughing. I felt peaceful. I thought, this is where I belong, for now. I didn't earn much money, but I earned something more valuable: experience. I learned responsibility. I learned patience. I learned teamwork. And I learned that even small jobs can teach big lessons. One rainy evening, I was about to close the shop. A man came running in, completely wet. He said, "Can I please get something warm?" I made him a cup of tea. He smiled and said, "Thank you." This really helps. That night, I understood what service means. Helping people, one small moment at a time. Months passed. I got better, faster, and more confident. The cafe started to feel like home. My co-workers became my friends. Sometimes we laughed together. Sometimes we argued. But we always helped each other. And one day, my manager said, "You're ready to train the new staff." That felt amazing. Me, teaching someone else. It meant I had grown. Looking back now, I realise how important that job was. It was not just about money or work. It was about becoming responsible. It was about learning who I am. My first job taught me that small beginnings can lead to big growth. It taught me that effort matters more than experience. And it taught me that every step, no matter how small, is part of success. Thank you so much for listening to my story, My First Job. I hope you enjoyed it. And more importantly, I hope you practiced your English while listening. Stories like this one are powerful tools for English learners. They teach you real-life vocabulary, natural rhythm, and emotional expression. And when you shadow along, repeating after me, you're not just learning words, you're training your fluency. Here's what you can do next. Listen to this story again tomorrow. Repeat the sentences after me. Try telling your own story in English about your first job, your first interview, or your first big responsibility. Remember, English fluency doesn't happen overnight. It grows slowly, just like confidence at your first job. One word, one sentence, one story at a time. So keep going, keep practicing, and never stop believing in yourself. If you like this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe